You're not going to ask those questions?
No.
Okay.
Definitely not.
Alright.
We had, what's his name yesterday? Daniel.
Friedman. Yeah, everyone thinks I'm him. I was in Botswana and they're like, I love your music. I'm like, it's not my music.
Alright, so now joining us in studio this morning is the host of Comedy Central's Roast. He is a veteran, and we need a drum roll for this, AB. Veteran comedian. Ladies and gentlemen, welcome on the Continental Breakfast stage, John Vlismas. Mahovi!
That's a very dramatic entry, thank you. I feel like the Lord arriving in Jerusalem. It's amazing.
Yes, because that's what you are.
Jerusalem, huh?
It's UJFM.
Yes,
I like
exactly. And nothing's burning. I'm very disappointed. There's no action here. There's no angry people. Nothing must fall. What's happened this morning?
Don't be fooled by the media, hey?
Really?
We're not that bad.
Aren't you? Okay, well, I don't think it's bad. I think it's fun.
Yeah. It's fun. No.
It's exciting when people burn things.
Yeah.
It warms up. It's winter. It makes things a bit warmer. It helps escalate a bit of fire.
All right. John said he wanted to test me when we go on air.
Yes, because you were asking me questions that implied that even though he calls me a veteran, he doesn't know what I do for a living at all.
I can tell you.
I mean, but B was also asking why science? Why? I listened earlier. Why science? Why do you need science? Why do you need experiments? Why progress? B, exactly. This is the future of our nation. Sitting right here going, but I don't understand why. Because it helps. That's why. That's how we cure stuff.
You know, prior to you coming here, we were actually talking about your age.
Were you?
Yeah, because whilst we're doing that research, you said we didn't do.
Okay, right, in the existent research.
Yeah, exactly. We were somewhat flabbergasted. We were shocked by your age, eh?
I can see you guys are students. You've got big words, man.
Yeah, exactly.
I heard that. When I heard the word embryo earlier, I nearly crashed the car. I haven't heard of embryo for years. Yes, so how old do you calculate that I am based on your research?
Or let's say you're in your 40s.
Okay, well, yeah, I'm 43.
Yo!
Wow.
Yeah, is that old?
Well, you're old enough to be my father.
Wow, that's amazing. I don't want to use the word in relation to mothers. That would make me as well, because I know you don't want to go to another hearing, so I won't say it.
Oh, yeah. By the way, the last comedian that we had here, prior to Deep Fried Man, was Nina Hasty. I know you guys work together.
Yes, absolutely.
Yeah, well, she got me into trouble. Well, she doesn't know that, but yeah, I found myself at the DC because of some of the words that were used.
Wow.
Yeah, so let's just be careful, please,
let's
John.
skirt those words carefully. Let's not get you back in that DC
place
please. Again.
But what do you do to look so young, though? Hey, you don't look at a day older than 30.
Devil worship is such a useful. I'm not. I've been accused of that by stupid people because I have earrings and tattoos, and you know, some people think that means something. But other than I just like the vibe. I think the trick is to drink very heavily from like the age of about 16 until about 30, and then from the age of 30 to 40, give up everything, and you look so bad in your 20s. Everyone thinks you look better in your 30s.
Oh, I see.
Yeah.
But surely when you get to your 40s, you messed up.
Some people die from living like that. Some survive, and I believe I'm a survivor.
You know what? That deserves a Continental Breakfast round of applause.
No, thanks. Thanks.
John is a survivor.
See? See?
Let's talk about, relevance. You've been relevant for some time, hey?
Oh, thanks.
But how do you stay relevant, especially in comedy? Because, I mean, one moment we hear about people and the next moment they just somewhat disappear.
Yes. Like Pitch Black Afro.
Like,
where?
What's happened? Pitch Black wasn't a comedian, though.
No, he wasn't. So, I think it's about the kind of comedy that you want to do. Like, do you want to be Lady Gaga? Or do you want to be like, I don't know, Leonard Cohen? You know, it's like, do you want to make art that's popular right now and be a fad? I just want to tell the truth.
Oh, I see. Yeah,
That's all I really do comedy for, is I just want to be honest to people. And they find that hilarious.
Oh, yeah.
So how's the truth ever not relevant?
Not true that. True that.
Do you know what I mean? And it changes over time. So like my attitude towards topics changes as I get older. And so like now I'm going to a place where I'm doing a show about like, it's called The Good Racist.
Yeah, that's Revelations 2, ne?
That's right, yeah.
Alright, we'll talk about that a bit later on.
Sure.
Now I want to talk about, your journey. Because, I mean, you've been around for some time. And you haven't only performed in South Africa, you've performed overseas as well.
Yes, the big overseas.
Yeah.
Everything's better, apparently.
No. I don't buy that, eh?
Cool, I'm good, I'm with you.
Yeah, I mean, I regard you as one of the best comedians. Not only in SA, but,
thanks.
in the world as well.
Thanks, man.
I've seen you live, actually.
That's good.
It wasn't a showcase. I was at the screening of... is it Dropbox or something like that? Monte Casino.
Gogglebox.
You
came to the Gogglebox.
Gogglebox. Yeah, I was there, Because, sometimes campus radio DJs, I regard
crack an invite to them. Right.
Yeah, we are seen as being important,
Well, you are important.
And honestly speaking, I've never seen a host like John. I mean, he's brilliant at what he does. That's for sure. I mean, everybody was in stitches, including myself. I don't laugh easily, especially when I'm out at these things.
Oh, really? Do you find it harder to laugh when you're out?
When I'm out, yeah. This is my comfort zone. I only laugh when I'm in here.
Okay,
yeah.
That's interesting. So you find B relaxes you and everyone else just makes you feel better.
Yeah, something like that.
You look like the dude who makes the movies, man. What is the guy's name? Russell Simmons.
He's referring to our helper here on the Continental Breakfast.
Helper. Wow, dude. He's really impressed them, man. They're calling me their helper. Wow, he's like Santa. And you're the dude who hands the present to him so he can give it to the kid.
No, but he's the guy who offered you coffee in the morning, isn't it?
Yes, he did.
Yeah,
yes,
exactly. No, he helps out. It's very important.
That's very good.
But let's compare internationally and locally. I mean, you've performed internationally and you've performed locally as well. What's the difference there?
I think the difference is the audience. I think South African audiences are always going to be my favorite because we are very brave as an audience in this country. There's a lot of bad stuff that's happened. And so when we joke about it, I find South Africans are brave. They face that stuff.
Oh, okay.
And they don't get squeamish. Recently, we've become a little more sensitive about stuff. But that's because there's previously undealt with, issues. I mean, race is one of them. I think it was never dealt with, and now young people are going, actually, we're going to deal with it right now. But we tend to face that stuff head on, whereas in other countries I find that people are a bit more squeamish and they tend to scream the politically correct card the moment you start going to dark sort of comedy, which is my favorite. I like comedy that's almost like horror's neighbor.
Oh wow, okay.
I believe the more close to the dark stuff comedy exists, the better the comedy is. All my heroes have been like that.
And who are some of these heroes?
So if you look at Bill Hicks, Richard Pryor.
Oh, nice, yes.
Real kind of George Carlin.
Oh, yes, may his soul rest in peace.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Those kind of comics that spoke about, social relevant stuff. I mean, when Richard Pryor was doing a lot of race stuff in America, it wasn't comfortable.
True.
It was at a time when black dudes were not supposed to cause trouble. You're supposed to catch that bus and just be cool, and everyone will be cool. And now, I don't see people like that in there are not that many in the state. I just don't find it happening as much.
Oh, okay. Well, but you're here.
I'm here, and I'm about to open a can of worms for people because we haven't dealt with stuff. And I always look at it as I'm raising a daughter. She lives with me. She's 15.
Oh wow!
So this young mind, I have a job to do, and what am I gonna not only teach her, but what kind of place are we leaving these kids? Because they are going to be in charge tomorrow, and your generation obviously is a bit more ahead, but you'll kind of lead the charge. And I don't know if people of my age get it. I really don't.
Most of them don't.
People of my age actually, largely. So So my hero comics are those ones who could take it, and I think South African audiences love that stuff.
Yeah, no, true that. Now we kind of touched on other countries as well, or you touched on other countries as well. Now you were born in Zimbabwe.
Yes, I'm an excellent swimmer. That's how I got you.
On a shark, ne?
Yeah, exactly.
Or crocodile.
Yeah, on the back of a crocodile.
Yeah, Marondera. That's the place, ne?
In the black section of the hospital.
Do you?
That's the truth. There were no beds in the white section on the night that I was born. So I was born with being evil. It's amazing how I should be made fun of.
Okay, yeah.
It's part of the job of the people is to test their leadership by poking fun. That's one way anyway. funny enough, I almost feel like let's call them the dictators, and we're rapidly moving that way ourselves. But there's a point at which making jokes about them, it becomes almost like boring.
Oh,
do you know what I mean? Like I find like now when I hear the word Nkandla, like almost switch off if it's a comedy environment. I'm so bored of hearing about that.
That's what our president thinks of it.
Exactly.
All right, now let's talk about Revelations, and then we'll get into you being the host of Comedy Central's Roast Battle.
Sure.
Oh, man, we're looking forward to that one.
Me too.
Your one-man show?
Yes.
Revelations 2?
So I did Revelations a couple of years ago and it went really well. That was all about the end of the world. Like every culture has got a belief that the world's going to end. And what it's really based on is the fact that we don't like the fact that when we die, that's the end for us and everyone else carries on.
Okay.
So as a species, we tend to invent an ending. Psychologically, we'd much rather the world's going to end. So then we're not so uncomfortable with leaving the world. That's the kind of theory, psychologically.
Okay.
But the other revelation I've come to is that if we look at this thing of racism in the country, the biggest problem we have, like with any other problem, so like when I gave up booze and drugs and all those things, like I had to admit that I had a problem. Like that's the first thing you have to do is admit there's a problem. So with racism, until we admit that there is racism, because nobody wants to admit that. Nobody wants to go, well, yes, I'm a racist. So I'm saying, yes, I'm a racist. I was born in a place where I was kind of wired that way. I'm a progressive human being. I don't want to be a racist. I certainly don't want to pass it on to my child.
Yeah.
But I have to be aware of that programming in my head so that I can work around it. And when I speak to someone of another race, I can accept what they've been through because the wiring is put, has been part of that system. So that's why the show's called A Good Racist, because until you admit that you won and you can now work on bettering it, how do you fix it?
But then, yeah, exactly. How do you fix it? How do you get rid of that racist mentality? Especially for somebody like yourself. I mean, you somewhat grew up in an environment where you were somewhat privileged, like you mentioned.
Dude, totally. Like, but this thing of like, if we have to debate whether white privilege exists, it's a stupid it's a stupid discussion.
Okay.
It is so obvious that it exists, and people will go blue in the face arguing. No, but you know, like, we will not tolerate white privilege not being honoured. You don't give a waitress $50 that, by the way, you're not obligated to give her in the first place.
True.
Okay? All you do is write a perfectly interesting statement on a piece of paper. We will give that chick 150,000 rand. Because, damn it, we must be, I was horrified when I read that man's explanation of what he was doing.
Yeah.
There's just a very educated, as a satirist, I can appreciate what he was doing. And the fact that it was proved by the people he was talking about, we're in much worse shape than we think, mostly because the people that I come from have got no concept of where they're arguing from. It's not a discussion. I mean, anyway, so I've gone back through the history of time and I've looked at racism, the birth of racism, the commercialization of racism.
Oh, wow.
In fact, the concept of black people being slaves was never a race issue. It was a commercial decision.
Wait, how so?
Well, I mean, the idea of slaves originally came from, my people lived here. And then in order to protect ourselves from an evolutionary point of view, we learned to distrust. Let's say, I would say you, but it's irrelevant. Like it could be Scandinavian or whatever. Whoever the strangers are, we must distrust those people. So xenophobia was really the first thing. It was an evolutionary protection mechanism. The chances of me not getting harmed by my own people was actually greater than if I went there.
Oh, I see.
You may not harm me, but I don't. It's the unknown, right? Then eventually we realize, well, if we go there first and take their stuff and their people, we gain, we get wealth, we get stuff that we didn't have to work for, right?
Wow.
And those people will work for us. Then it became a thing of, but I don't want to go to your house and take your family because it's messy. People don't like that. I don't want to bring a lamb home and slaughter it in front of my children and then feed them. They don't want to see that killing.
True.
True. But that's our racism. We also kept it from our children.
Yeah.
So now I send someone else, a third party, to your house to take your stuff and bring it, and I pay him and you just deliver the goods, right? So it's like manufacturing in China. If I live in Europe, where can I get the people easiest? Well, go where they don't have guns.
True.
So South America was one of the places, and Africa was another place. There's people there they got sticks. Right, I'm going there. So it was like the Anglo-American of its time, or the Google of its time, a startup, and their business was trading in human beings. Isaac Newton, the famous scientist who invented half the stuff we use today, invested in a slave startup.
Yeah, the guy who was hit by an apple bee.
He got hit by an apple.
Newton's law, 1, 2, 3.
You know?
No? Oh, okay.
So a lot of well-known people in history, slavery was quite normal, but it was focused on Africa because it was a commercial. It's like manufacturing in China. It's easier there. So just do it there. So anyway, I talk about that, and I just talk about a lot of interesting research I've done about where racism comes from. And man, it's a very, you can't have this argument over a cappuccino in Santon. Yeah. It's not the right place to solve racism.
True.
At all. So, I mean, I just hope the audience is up for it, because it's going to be there's a lot of reading involved in the work. Now I'm just busy turning all of that into dark humor.
Yeah. No, fantastic.
Ultimately, if you call a person a monkey, scientifically, you are ignorant.
Yeah, no.
We are not monkeys. We're actually great apes.
We are great apes.
We are from the family hominid, which means great ape. So,
no, true that.
And you can call a black dude a great ape. Scientifically, that's correct. But then you must accept that you too are a great ape.
As a white dude.
Well, because we are really the same animal. And this is the whole... And other things, like if I had to read a lot of right-wing websites, because that's part of my research. I mean, it's really funny. If you go on those things, I mean, it's obviously dark, but it's funny. So they really believe that we are different species of animal, and that God created black people by cursing a white person. They find a place in the Bible that they believe is where black people was invented, right? When God was really angry. So then you go to church and you pray to someone who thinks you curse someone by telling them black. Dude, I can't teach my kid that.
Essentially, we are all part of the Animalia group, you know?
Yes, and I know you hate science. I heard you earlier, B. But the thing is, right, here's the basic proof that we are the same, exactly the same.
Yeah.
Any other animal in nature, if it's a different species, nature will not allow those animals to bear children. And even if they do, those children are born sterile. So a horse and a donkey, they can have a kid, but it'll be sterile. It can't reproduce. The fact that we have coloured people is living proof that black people and white people are supposed to love each other.
I like that. You know, I can deal with that, man. Sure. All right, you know what? There's more to explore about John Vlismas. You know, normally when we have, you know, average guests, you know, I'm hoping one of them is not listening. You know, we have like 10 minutes. It's like, okay, no, fine, you know, sharp. All right, we'll buy tickets and all that stuff. But we are going to extend our chat with John Vlismas. And any question that you want us to ask on your behalf, do hit us up on Twitter at UJFMbreakfast. And also remember to use the hashtag UJFMbreakfast. Same on Facebook, UJFMbreakfast. Now, in a bit, we are going to get into your news headlines. We'll look into what's happening in the sporting world. We'll get into what's happening on the roads as well. Our number coming up. And of course, after that, we'll continue having a chat with John Vlismas.
I feel I should be angry and tell the president that we'll kill for him or kill him or something. You know, it's a whole, veteran is such a loaded word. So I don't know. Maybe that's why they asked me to do the roast battle, because
Because you're a veteran.
I don't care. I don't care about feelings. They are stupid.
I see,
Yes, feelings are stupid, and we give them too much time. It's like fat people. What about stop eating? It's so simple. Why do we have to care about?
I'm not laughing.
No, you're not. I can see you not.
I'm not laughing. Come on.
I find it so like, what do I mean? We cuddle people's feelings all the time. We just get on, you know. Do the thing.
And you know what? A bit earlier on, you mentioned that one of your influences has been George Cullen.
Yes.
And I feel that like he reached a certain age where he didn't care anymore. And I feel like you are somewhat, you know, at that age where you don't care.
I'm at the age. I don't care. I don't do this for other people. I do it for myself. And if people like to watch me doing that, then I'm really grateful, because it lets my daughter go to a Parktown Girls, but I
I love that school. Well behaved, eh?
Government school,
They're well behaved.
But so I don't, and I believe that we do each other a disservice by weakening each other, by taking feelings so seriously all the time.
Oh, I see. Yeah.
So that's why this roasting thing is so cool, because you get to totally tear people apart.
Yeah, exactly.
And you hug afterwards.
Yeah. And we know how hectic you are. I mean, we saw you at the Steve Hofmeyer roast.
Yes.
Which one was it where you brought a gun? Was it
well, after that, after I got death threats from the Hofmeyer, so I thought I'd bring a gun. But as it turns out, Kenny's a bit more friendly. And isn't it funny, the ones who've actually committed the crime and gone to jail are more cool, and the one who's, you know, sang pop songs is the evil one. It's very strange.
Yeah, no, I saw those roasts, and I was like, you know what? It makes sense that John is the host. You know, because I can't think of anybody right now in the country who's better at this comedy thing than John. And I'm sure a lot of comedians will agree with that as well.
You know, I've met the first contestants, and it's a very Nina Hasty, funny enough, against Chris Forrest. That's the draw.
Woo!
I know. That's going to be interesting. And there's Noba, who is a fat guy, versus a Mo Matebe.
Oh, Mo Matebe. Mo Matebe, the guy who called me DJ Goatee. Yeah.
Is that what he called you?
Yeah.
Okay, don't worry. I'm going to call him a lot of things when I see him.
I look forward to it.
And then Dusty Rich versus Dylan Oliphant.
Nice.
That's going to be the most interesting, because they're both quite dark horses, those two.
Oh, is it?
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
So that'll be interesting. It's going to be fun.
Nina's my girl, man. Mo is my guy. Hey, but Chris Forrest is a legend as well, you know. You know, he's somewhat of a legend. Not as much of a legend as John Vlismas.
It's not a legend competition. And I get to, I'm not involved. I just get to hurl abuse at everyone.
Yeah, exactly.
Kenny's a judge. I don't think Kenny's ever been a judge. He's been in front of a judge, we know that. But he's never been a judge, so that'll be interesting.
Hey, he has judged sushi contests. Come on now.
Oh, of course he has. I'm sorry, I forgot about it. He told us what was a hand roll and what was nigiri. So that's very lovely.
Exactly. All right, now we'll talk about the roast in a bit. I just want us to talk about your show, Revelations 2.
Right.
When is it happening and how can somebody get tickets?
Okay, so you go to, I think you go to Ticket Pro, man.
Okay, Ticket Pro?
I think, and it's called Revelations. It's at the Teatro, which is the Monte Casino, a bigger theatre.
Oh, yeah,
I've never played there before, so I thought for my 43rd birthday, I'm buying myself an 1800-seater for 2 nights.
Oh, nice.
And it's the last weekend in August.
Oh,
so
yeah,
I'm just trying to remember the date. It's like 26, 27,
nope,
25,
27th
26,
and 28th.
Yeah, something like that.
That's our not so researchy research told us.
Oh wow, that's amazing. I'm starting to become quite impressed by this not so researchy research. Turns out you did your research, which I'm amazed by, because often on radio it's like, hey, what do you do? And that's quite amazing. But well done, you've done your research.
No, we look forward to it. I mean, some of the things that you shared with us about racism especially. I mean, it's not easy for somebody to be humorous, you know, about racism, because, I mean, honestly speaking, it's still somewhat of a touchy topic.
Totally.
Especially now, because of this discourse that's currently taking place.
Yeah, well, I mean, there's a group of young intellectuals who are actually, like, getting right in, and it's about time.
Exactly.
Do you know what I mean? Like, it's great that young people are off Facebook and they're, like, studying, and because ultimately it is education. But, you know, again, people talk about we have to educate everyone. When they start getting educated, then people get uncomfortable. Yeah. So, you know, it's an interesting time, and I think... I'm excited. I think the young intellectuals are going to do stuff. And like Parliament, man, I always said that Julius was going to break the cabinet because he got a G for woodwork, and now he's doing it.
Makes sense.
Exactly.
Makes sense.
So, you know, there's some clever young people in the country, and their time's coming. So we'll see what happens.
All right. And now the roast.
Right.
First of all, how did you get to become the host? Did they approach you, or did you have to apply?
I mean, I've been working with Comedy Central since they came to South Africa, and we have a good relationship, and I like the idea, and the fact that they asked me to do the Steve Hofmeyr roast is very big for me, because to be paid to make fun of Steve Hofmeyr in public, I mean, that's like your dream job, right?
Sure.
Because you don't have to write jokes, you just have to tell people about him, and it's going to take him down. So that was the first thing, and then they invited me back to do the Kuneni roast, so I'm the only one who's done both, and also I know Jimmy Carr really well, so I
nice, yeah.
I worked with Jimmy a lot
Jimmy Carr from the UK, no?
That's correct. So we did that next roast together, which was cool. So it's almost like a natural thing, and the truth is, I have a natural grumpiness which allows me to tear people apart casually, and a lot of people like to see that. So so it should be fun. So my job is to make fun of everyone on stage, but also just to let the people know that are going to be there on Thursday night at the club. I'm also going to take some people out of the audience and bring them on stage. I see. And mini roasts.
I don't want to lie, I hate those.
Oh, you do? Yeah. You mean you hate being roasted?
Yes.
Okay, I get you. So,
nobody likes that, eh?
Okay, but if you're there, then but you get people who arrive in my shows and sit in the front row and go, Pick
me!
Yeah, you get that.
And at the time, the guy is wearing a pink shirt.
And I must tell you, like when we worked with, so we also did the roast off with Jeff Ross at the International Comedy, the Comedy Central International Comedy Festival.
He's another veteran as well,
Absolutely. So what Jeff did was he picked specifically people with problems. So he got like a lady in a wheelchair, he got a guy that was a little bit deformed. He got like a bunch of people that we would normally never pick on. Because we're squeamish, like, you know, and we don't want to offend anyone. So my thing is, because because Jeff Ross did that, I will definitely make sure, if you have like a blind friend or someone in a wheelchair missing a limb or whatever, bring them. And I promise you I'll make fun of them, because the truth is we ignore those people by politeness. So what we are really saying is we are not the same. You get different treatment. That's unfair. It's not constitutional. So my trick is, I promise I'll make fun of those people, but we will hug at the end.
All right. But you're shooting on Thursday?
Thursday at Parker's Club Bunch Casino, and I know there are still some tickets left, I think.
Oh, nice.
So it's possible to get tickets.
Okay, yeah.
I believe you get them at CompuTicket as well.
Via CompuTicket,
But I would recommend you come, because often what happens in these things is we edit out the really juicy bits. Like, the part that made Steve Hoffmeyer actually get angry with me was never on TV.
Is it?
No, and I can't even say it on your lovely station, because you're now all squeamish about going to another hearing. So I don't want to get you in trouble, man.
Please,
I don't want to get you in trouble. But so what I'm saying is, if you come to a live roast event, you actually hear the stuff that's like too bad for television.
And I mean, even if you mess up, I'll be able to see that.
Exactly, and we will. We probably will mess up, and then I'll roast myself. I will actually master roast myself if I have to.
All right, lovely.
Yes.
But now it premieres in June, the 13th of June 2016. And do make sure to check it out as well. It's going to be on the 13th of June. It's going to play at 9 o'clock Central African Time.
Yes.
John Vlismas is going to be the host, so you know that it's bound to get funny, and it's bound to get somewhat morbid as well. I mean, just by the way he looks, you know.
Yes, exactly.
That's why people say he's a devil worshipper.
Exactly, because we judge people on looks. Back to my show, The Good Racist. You see?
All right, cool. So first, it's going to be this one. The live recording is on Thursday.
That's correct.
The 26th of May. You can still get tickets. We'll tweet the details via our Twitter page as well at UJFMbreakfast, and on Facebook as well, UJFMbreakfast. John, it's been an absolute pleasure. Like I was saying to you a bit earlier on, I feel like we could have a chat for 3 hours, you know, about life.
You know, maybe we'll go out one night to buy dinner and we can get all the stuff out in the open.
Yeah. No, we need comedians like you know?
Oh, thanks.
Because it's not just about being frivolous, you know, that's another big term.
Yeah, that's a word. I use pepper spray on frivolous comedians if I find them.
Oh, yeah.
Tasers.
But there are a lot of those, though.
Yeah, I would rather die than go and watch a show about stupid. I can't. It's not for me.
Because, I mean, we need to learn something as well. Yeah. You know, in the midst of us laughing, you know, there's something that we need to get out of it. I mean, just from our chat this morning, I mean, it was like, what, you know, 30 minutes, 35 minutes, and already
you want to change religion. Is that what you're telling me? I've convinced you to convert to a new belief system.
Something more morbid. Is there a religion like that?
Yes, it's called absurdism. Come and join me.
Just imagine that. But if you could, you know, somewhat, you know, be in the same show as you know, a comedian, it doesn't have to be somebody local, but it can be, you know, international as well. Who would you choose
right now?
No.
In history,
dead or alive.
Without question, it would be Bill Hicks and George Carlin. If I could,
fantastic,
if I could be in a show with those guys, I would go to heaven with them afterwards.
All right. Quickly before I say goodbye to you, Mandangosi is asking about the challenges of the comedy game.
Yeah, there are lots. It's very hard, Mandla. No, get stage time. Just go and get stage time. If that's what he's asking, it's difficult, but you've got to get as many open spots as you can in as many places as you can.
Yeah.
And just do it, and just don't stop. That's my answer. And then listen to the audience. Don't listen to other comedians, because they have lots of advice and they don't know what they're talking about, because it's about you and the audience, not about other comedians.
Yeah.
Listen to the audience. They will tell you if you are a comedian or not.
But what if that audience is heckling you?
Then you must decide. Do you want to lie down and die, in which case go home and have a sandwich, or do you want to fight back, in which case take a chance?
All right. Chichimbata is asking about any advice you might have for aspiring comedians.
Ditto. Same story. Get as much stage time as you can and listen to the audience.
All right. No, fantastic. And if somebody wants to follow John Vlismas on social media, you do use social media.
I do use social media. It's a social disease, and I have it. Like herpes, you just can't get rid of the stuff. 40 short is my handle. 40 short, the words.
Yeah. We actually struggled to find your Twitter handle.
My name was taken by someone else before I became enabled, and so I used when I was really young and drinking, my suit size was a 40 short. I was quite a fat guy.
Is it?
Yeah, well, I was quite like when you drink a lot and you take the things I used to take and eat 5 dinners because you forget you had dinner 4 times already.
Sure.
You tend to bloat a little.
Pamela, I hope you're taking note. No? Pamela is currently taking a video. Hopefully we'll post it on YouTube as well. so that you can see what happened in studio. But John, you know what? Like I said, we need 3 hours. You know, I don't want to stop this. You know, I know management is busy going like, come on now, come on.
Yes, stop it now.
But with drugs and alcohol, you know, this is a big issue, especially with us, you know, young people.
Absolutely.
You know, at some point we do experiment.
Sure.
You know, I mean, for somebody who's going through drug abuse right now.
Yes.
You know, what would you say to them? Like they're having a difficult time. At first it was all fun and games, but now it's really hectic.
So you'd be lying if you said it wasn't fun.
Mm-hmm.
That's why we get into it.
True.
It can never make you better.
Yeah.
It can only make you average. And you have to make a call. Like if your mother or your uncle or your friend tells you got to get help, that's one thing. You got to like open your eyes and go, okay, today's the day where I do it. Once you make that decision, you find help and you go and you do it. And I have helped other friends who have said, today, okay, good, get in the car, let's go. We go right now, make that change. So it's a very complicated one, but anyone can get out of the situation they're in. They really can. And they'll tell you at those rehab places that you have lost your power. I'm saying you haven't. You always have your power. Drugs help you forget that. But it's not a party when you're not able to like do what you're really born. No one's born to take drugs. Wow. We're born to do something cool, and then drugs will make you feel cool instead of doing what you're supposed to do. And that's robs you of your like passion. And that's where when I started not enjoying comedy, that's the moment when I knew that this wasn't for me, because actually comedy's that's my heartbeat. Then when you stop loving your heartbeat, you're in trouble. So anyway, that's what you got to get help.
Yeah. John Vlismas, ladies and gentlemen. Mahofi.
Oh. So I'm not going to call you the beard DJ, because I see you as more than a beard man.
Thank you.
You're a complete human being, so damn that guy for saying it.
Yeah, Mo Mutebe, I hope you get roasted, man.
We should call him Mo Machebe. Wouldn't that work out?
Okay, we can do that as well. John, it's been an absolute pleasure. We definitely learned a lot from you.
Thanks
and
for having me,
we look forward to your shows as well.
Super. I will send tickets, I promise.
Oh, please.
Of course.
Please. Not many people promise us.
You guys are cool breakfast gang, and sometimes it's not cool, so thank you. So I will make sure you get tickets.
You heard it from John, eh?
Yep.
We are a cool breakfast gang.
See?
Yeah. All right. But once again, all the best with the shows and all the best with your future endeavors as well.
Thanks, man. Thank you very much. And all the best to all of you, even the helper. I believe you can rise, buddy. You can rise above. One day they won't just give you an iPad. They'll give you a full laptop. And you can have a keyboard like everyone else. It'll be so exciting. And I'll be there at that party to hand it over.
And that's where we leave it for this morning, man. Have yourself a fantastic day.